Good morning, YouTube. Okay, so it's Wednesday the 16th of September. We're a bit late. I know I'm supposed to have them done by the weekend at the latest, but life happens, so here we go. Quick one this week because we've got another one coming up. Fingers crossed on the weekend. Alright, so here's the update on the 2-year raspberry canes, the red variety. That's in pots. I have half out the front still. These ones I still don't know what I'm doing. I might keep them in pots or repot them, I'm not sure, but whatever I'm doing, they have burst into life with all this warm weather. They have new shoots, lots of new growth, and are looking absolutely fantastic. Alright, so here are these little raised garden beds. They are looking really good with their peas and marigolds and turnips and radishes. Looking fantastic. The grape has started to bud, which is fantastic. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to prune it back this year. Maybe not, because it's still only really young. I've been having a look at a few grape pruning videos, and I think I might leave it until next year and then start that. So the frilly lettuce is looking alright. Still waiting for some of these seeds from the bok choy. We've got lots of new little greens growth. Lots of new little growth there. We've got some lettuces. They've got some lettuces and mustard greens and a random strawberry. Okay, so I cleared this area out, made a pathway, and all these raspberries are going really well by the look of it. I moved my lemongrass in here for a little bit more protection, not only from the cold but from the heat when it finally does start. As you can see, lemongrass looking actually really good. Okay, my new apple tree is starting to bud, which is fantastic. My Granny Smith apple. Amazing. I picked up 4 new blueberries just from Bunnings. Couldn't help myself. They're already flowering. We've got some mint that has started up. It smells amazing. The blackberry has started its new growth, which I'm so excited for. We've picked up actually quite a few more garden ornaments. This is one of them for my kids, which they really enjoy. We've got catmint for the neighbours' cats. As you can see, the new raspberry canes are looking really good. I popped in some potted colour. 2 didn't make it, but that's okay. And just some colour to brighten up the garden and attract the pollinators over when the berry vines do actually start to produce. I transplanted some just some snow peas, general snow peas in, and have the purple potted peas looking amazing. They're so big. I can't believe how big the leaves actually are on these. I don't know whether they're just purple potted or giant purple potted snow peas. So I'll have to wait and see. But if the leaves are anything to go by, I think they might be the giant variety. Either way, food is food, and I'm excited for that. The silverberry has a lot of new growth on it, which is amazing. One of my cherry trees has actually started to flower. It's a bit ahead of the rest. The nut trees have started to put on new growth. We have some corn that we've planted just recently with all the new growth on it because of the heat, which is amazing. I'm really excited for these sunflowers because I think these ones are the ones that are have dark red in the center, and it comes all the way out to the tip in some points, and then in other areas it's a gradient to yellow. So I've only seen a picture, so I'm excited to see that. I've got a bit of newness here in the greenhouse with more shelves added because we couldn't actually keep up with the amount of things that we were planting with the shelf space that we had. So we had to add more, but I think we're at capacity now. Got some Jolly Roger sweet corn there. Some golden nugget pumpkins looking great. I think this was the time to plant them. The other pumpkins were just way too early. But a handful of them are actually surviving. They're putting on new fresh green leaves and hopefully they should be okay. They may be a little stunted because of the cold though. I think my husband was saying that he saw the other day that one had actually started to put on flowers. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, this one's actually started to put on its flowers already. And that one's the golden nugget pumpkin. So that's okay. I think because they've been in the pot for so long, the plants decided, right, I'm going to try and basically put flowers out, make fruit and make seeds because I'm not going anywhere now, so I don't think it's going to grow anymore. But that's okay. It was just basically to save them because the seeds were moldy, so that's fine. The barrage is looking great. Peas, some of the Thai basil, more basil. Now the beans that we were putting in as a trial still look really, really good. No frost damage that we can see, even though they're still really close to the top of the greenhouse. And this doesn't heat up in the morning, it holds the heat in the afternoon, this greenhouse, where we're situated at. So we've got capsicums and more peas, and look at all the basil. I am so excited to put this in sauces and curries and stir fries and on wraps. We go through so much basil and Thai basil, it's not funny. Passion fruit vines are doing really, really well. No real signs of stress there. The ferns have no real signs of stress. We've got some lettuce. We've got a couple of trays planted out in pumpkins we only just did the other day, and we've stacked them on top of each other because, as I was saying before, we just don't have enough room for all the things that we dream to do. So bring on the warmer weather and we can put everything outside. We've got some Amish buttercorn. Now I'm not sure whether this one is a sweet eating or a maize or a popcorn. I'll have to research it a bit more. If anyone knows, drop me a comment down below, let me know. We've got chilies and capsicums over here. I just have to step over some of the things that are in the walkway. And there we go. Get that to focus. We've got some celery, basil there. We've got cayenne chilies and yellow capsicums, looking really healthy. More chilies. Tomatoes are looking really good. They've survived really well in the greenhouse. got the Heritage, the Tommy Toe, the Cherry Sweet Bite, the Roma. We have up there on the four level shelf, we have all the Gross Liz. And then still not much going down here with the custard apple and the red cos lettuce. I'm not sure what's going on there. But my moneymaker tomatoes are popping up, which is great. I have something popping out here. I'm not sure what that is. I think that's a rock melon, that one there. That's popping out. I just have to be very careful with where I put my feet at the moment because everything is stacked so precisely. I have green husk tomatillos. They're looking good. Almost ready for separating. The Amish paste tomatoes. More basil. I have some alpha green cucumbers and red nasturtiums. I'm actually going to be making an edible flower garden this year, and nasturtiums were on my list, with chamomile and a few others that are in another greenhouse. We've got eggplants in here and chilies, a couple more chilies under there. More of the potluck, only a few have survived, but they will still, they'll be right now, I think, because it's actually getting a lot warmer. Now I have purple-headed artichoke. I've never grown this before, but they've started to germinate, which is exciting. I have my okras put in, but nothing yet because they seem to love it when it's really, really warm. I had to move my dragon fruit because I had it over here, but the condensation from the roof would come down and hit it in one particular spot. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut it there and make a cutting and repot this part. Save this arm because it's quite long, maybe make it into two and repot that so that the whole plant doesn't suffer. I might do that today. I have spaghetti squash. They're looking really good. Some more cucumber. See, this is why I said I had to watch where I put my feet. Lots of things here. Now these are little apple trees from seed. I just popped a whole heap of apple seeds in the raised bed when I was doing some juice, and this week I went out and lo and behold the whole bunch had come up, so I had to separate them into their own pots. More celery. I have pineapple sage, more apple trees. Not sure what that stick one is at the back. It could be an apple second year one. More grapes. I have to find a spot for these now that they're really starting to grow. So that's that for in the greenhouse. And then I've started to brighten up a few other areas around the garden at the moment. So these are just some potted strawberries on a stand. And we've added this little trellis. My husband's added this little trellis, and his idea is to put beans and other climbing things along the trellis. He's got the lemon tree in the ground, a few little pansies for colour and to bring the pollinators, and this beautiful Greek oregano which keeps coming back year after year. And it's just the most flavourful thing. It's delicious. I'm really, really very excited for this. I'm not sure how much you can see because of the shadows. But I planted some carrots and they're starting to come up. So they're atomic red carrots. I have some purple carrots that haven't really started, and I had some, what's this one? Cosmic purple. Oh, they actually have a couple of those have started, so hopefully they will come up. Now the reason I put those into pots this year is because I don't usually have very much success with growing carrots. They usually are very stunted, the ground's a bit too compacted for them, so I just use some peat coir and some potting mix, and hopefully it'll be loose enough for them. So we'll go into this shade house. Everything's looking good. So I have the loquat, the ferns, I've got currants blooming, more ferns, and figs. Where are they? There they are. Hopefully they'll recover from the bit of sunburn they got before. Lots of citrus. Lots and lots of citrus. And that's kind of just plodding along in there. So this area has got a bit of potato, a bit of peas. It's all a bit higgledy-piggledy. It was basically just composted over and put something in there to see if things would basically grow, but it's got big chunks of soil and it's not been fully amended with compost yet. So this greenhouse has been tidied up and lots more new things have been put in here because this gets morning sun. As you can see, it's very bright and hopefully it will warm up. So I have sweet basil and a basil mix in that one. These ones I have some melons. This one has golden wax climbing beans in there, so I finally planted out a lot of my beans. Now this one's the cicada melon. It's really slow, really slow, but it's getting there, slowly but surely. More beans. I've got my Yakimo Giant and Green Feast peas. More peas, more peas. I still have a couple of those berries left. I haven't gone to the new homes yet. This is exciting. I planted some golden potted peas. So they've just started to germinate and they'll hopefully climb up this one. So more types of peas and beans. So I have Purple King and the early long pod broad beans. I have tender green beans, more of those. Oregon bush snow peas, telephone peas. This is the second wave of peas. Oregon bush snow pea, sugar snap, and that's about it for this greenhouse. So this one back here, we took the cover off. It was a bit of a fail with the early pumpkins, and that's okay. We've added these panels because we popped in some snow peas and hopefully they'll climb up those, and later on we'll put on things like cucumbers and melons and pumpkins to trellis up. We put panels on this side as well. Same deal, snow peas, and we'll see how they go. This section, I moved my chamomile out here because it's actually doing really well. I need to divide that up, I think, because it's gotten to the point where it's just taking over. We've got a few little radishes, turnips, greens in that one. I really think this poor old cherry just, yeah, it's not surviving. There's no new buds. It's all pretty old, which is really sad. This little plum tree, on the other hand, has flowered, has now got its leaves, and I'm just waiting for the fruit. I'm very excited for that. This little garden's just bursting full now. So it's got a lot of beets, a lot of radishes, snow peas, strawberries I still have to remove out of there because I have decided to put them all in pots this year. I finally made my decision on that one. So we've got all the radishes and things that are going to go to flower. Turnips. We have beets in there. And this was a beautiful little find. A little purple flowered pea. It's so pretty. I love the colours. The dark pink and then the light pink. So I just staked that up to give it a bit more of a shot so bees and other pollinators can see it. So I've started using anything basically I can find to now put pots of strawberries on, because I have way more strawberry plants than I could ever anticipate, and I keep picking up more. I can't help it. I'm sure my daughter won't complain. So here the gazanias, the dahlias and the pansies are popping up. So they're almost ready to be potted up to their next pot. The German chamomile's ready to be potted up. The rainbow chard, another week and I can put it into its next pot. So I have collective farm woman and Japanese cream melons in these two, but nothing has popped up as yet, but I'm still hopeful. This massive multi-cell pack has a lot of my specialty beans in it. So we have the zebra climbing bean, we have the rattlesnake bean, we have the Mostola wild goose climbing bean, we've got dragon's tongue, yin yang, red snake or red noodle bean, and the Windsor long pod bush bean. So can't wait for those to pop up. More strawberries down there, more berry vine cuttings down there. This actually gets a lot of sun, a lot of heat, so I'm hoping that will boost their growth, and then I can move them out. Then we've got a few more of these before they go to their new homes. This, I was ever hopeful. I went to Ricardo's strawberry farm and got some strawberries for my daughter, and one of them was a bit moldy, so I thought I'd put it in here and see if I could get it to grow, but I don't think there's anything in there, which is okay. So I've got the red cos lettuce in here, still waiting for that to pop. I have some zucchinis in here, my second wave of zucchinis. Malabar red climbing spinach. This is supposed to take intense heat, so hopefully it should deal with Canberra summers, so I'm excited for that one. Calendula, that got to the right size and I potted it up the other day. I have red amaranth in here, waiting for it to pop up, and just some more strawberries. Alright, so this area is exploded into strawberries, berries, and it has an apple tree to attract the pollinators because it was in full bloom and beautiful basically. So here's the apple. It's what one is it? It's a Crips pink. It has beautiful blooms, and I'm hoping for one, just one. That would be lovely. Update on this, the snow peas have popped up and hopefully they do well in that hanging basket. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, they do well, because if they do, I will do a whole row along here. Okay, so I have my pine berries, they're flowering. I have my strawberry tower, it's going well. Many, many, many blueberries. And they've all gone into flower and bud. I have my strawberries. These are the special ones on here. Ones I've either bought from diggers or ones I've bought from Bunnings as specific varieties, and I've paid the expensive price for, and I want to get runners off later basically and propagate them and put them throughout the garden. These ones I got from a lovely lady who knows a lot about strawberries in the area, and they look amazing, and they're already in flower. Which I can't wait for. Fall raspberry has come back yet again. We've had this one for quite a few years. It was our first fall raspberry. Basically, the fruits on the first year canes, and then you floor it afterwards, cut it down to the ground, just leaving the roots, and it'll pop up year after year. This is something I'm very excited for. We have a beautiful broad bean that was a volunteer plant. I'm excited for those. Lots of flowers, lots of herbs. New berries, new vines, some peas, some rosemary, and you can hear the bees buzzing around. Mint and lamb's ear. The fairy garden area is progressing slowly. So the second year cane raspberries are putting on new growth, so that's amazing. More mint, more catmint, rosemary, lavender. So that's basically everything this week. I thought it was going to be a quick one, and here we are at like 28 minutes later. Sorry. Thank you for those that hung in there that long. And I will hopefully have a new one up on the weekend, because it's warming up now. Things are moving so fast now that the warmth is here, and there's lots of new things to see all the time. So thank you for that. Thank you for hanging in there with me. And if you like what you see, give it a thumbs up, click the like button, click the subscribe button, and leave me a comment. What are you growing this year? All right, until next time.